Respectable panelists and audience present here. I, Shrishti Kandoi, an active member of Biotechnology Society of Nepal and your host for today, would firstly like to introduce our President, Mr. Nabeen Munankarmi, Vice President, Mr. Kushal Shrestha, Chief Secretary, Ms. Samiksha Khandel, Joint Secretary, Mr. Dinesh Giri, Treasurer, Mr. Nabeen Bogati, and members, Mr. Mahesh Lamsal, Mr. Binayak Raj Pandey, Ms. Aishwarya Thapa, Ms. Nisha Kiran Shrestha, and Nisha Kiran Shrestha. Secondly, on the behalf of Biotechnology Society of Nepal, I heartfully welcome the expert panelists, Mr. Mana Kesi, Vice President, Science, Knowledge and Technology Transfer Department, Dr. Raju Adhikari, Chair, Nepal Science Foundation Trust, and Dr. Hari Dahal, Co-Chair, Second Global Knowledge Convention. Biotechnology Society of Nepal is an apolitical, non-government, non-profit organization motivated for promotion of biotechnology in Nepal and beyond. The establishment of society is an endeavor for development of biotechnology by promotion and dissemination of knowledge about this cutting-edge technology. Some of the major activities that BSN assembles are Brain Drain to Brain Gain, BSN Bulletin, Nepal Journal of Biotechnology, World DNA Day, Article of Demand, and some other science workshops that we organize. On this pleasant morning, we have gathered here for an online interactive discussion program with Nepal Science Foundation Trust and Global Knowledge Convention Divisions, Science, Knowledge and Technology Transfer Department, NRNA. The discussion will focus on the forthcoming second Knowledge Convention and NSFT activities, how BSN as a society can work together and make a contribution for the same. For all those who do not know what NRNA is a global organization of Nepalese diaspora committed to streamlining their capacities and resources for the overall development of Nepal through deployment of their personal and professional experience, skills, and resources. The focus area of NRNA is knowledge investment through exchange and collaboration in science and technology sector between Nepalese stakeholders and other potential global partners towards long-term prosperity of Nepal. I would now request Mr. Nabeen Munankarmi to address the listeners and share a few words about this event.
Namaste. Thank you, Srishti, for a nice welcoming space. This is Naveen Narayan Munankarmi, President, Biotechnology Society of Nepal. As she already mentioned about our objective, I'll also add something. Our objective is the solidarity for the development of biotechnology. We believe on solidarity for the development of biotechnology, and we are active, non-governmental, non-profit-making organization, which is probably one of the active organization, volunteering-run organization in Nepal. We yearly are doing lots of programs like Brain Drain to Brain Gain, DNA Day program, conference, national, international, seminar, training, workshop, and in addition, we provide free of cost consultancy regarding the biotechnological activities and biotechnological states in Nepal and outside. And in addition, we have also tie up with different organizations like this, the NRNA. We are in close contact with the NRNA since the beginning, and the most connecting person is like Raju sir and Hari sir and Pramod Dahal sir, and recently the Mona sir. We are also associated with the NSFT team. Actually, the Brain Drain to Brain Drain program was initiated by the joint venture of BSN and NRNA NSFT. Regarding these things, we also like to polish the relationship with the NRNA. So this program is especially designed in order to know how we can work together for the development of science and technology in Nepal. And likewise, NRNA already completed successfully its first Global Knowledge Convention, which is very much successful. And on that basis, NRNA is now going to organize second Global Knowledge Conference. In this case, we also like to know about our solid contribution so that we can put our active volunteers and we can put our active times for the successful completion of the programs. So this today's program is like these things, and this much. Thank you. Namaste.
Uh, Thank you, sir, for your speech. We highly appreciate it. Next, we have Mr. Mana Casey, who is also the Vice President and Head of Department, Science, Knowledge and Transfer Technology Department, and also an entrepreneur and education consultant, along with CEO at Southern Academy Group, Sydney, Australia, would be speaking and sharing his views.
Thank you, Srishti. Namaste, everyone. President of Biotechnology Society of Nepal, Navinji. Member Secretary of Skill, Knowledge and Technology Transfer Department of NRNA Global, Dr. Raju Adhikari. Dr. Hari Dahal, the co-convener of Global Knowledge Convention, and one of the senior professionals in our skills domain of our diaspora globally, and all the friends, society members and executives. Such a good initiative that you guys have started. I'm very glad to have the opportunity to participate in this mutual meeting of this nature and scale for the first time. NRNA, as you mentioned earlier, is the peak diaspora organization of the Nepalese diaspora, people living outside of the country. We are spread around 114 countries, and we are organized. We have institutionalized structures in about 83 countries. In the diaspora, we have a huge diversity of people from all walks of life. Businesses, entrepreneurs, students, academics, intellectuals, we have scientists, technologists, and you name it. Proudly, our diaspora members have achieved excellence in their own professions, in the area that they are practicing, including from being in the advisory capacity to different governments around the world in their domain, leading in the science and technology peak organizations, being award-winning scientists in different countries, including Australia, America, and the like. And we have many researchers in distinct universities around the world, and we have that pool of knowledge and excellence in their own skill domains. And because of that, we, as a diaspora peak organization, NRNA, years ago, we adopted a policy that the diaspora should not only contribute in a financial terms, in investment terms, in fund transfer and generating employment and generating prosperity only through the economic activities, but there is as big, if not bigger, domain, the area that is skill, knowledge, technology, and the experience, the wealth of experience that our people have gained with their exposure throughout their lifetime around the world. Why not capitalize on that, exchanging between our diaspora members, from someone from Australia to America to UK to Canada to Europe? They could benefit from each other within themselves, plus within our country, within our homeland, Nepal, where that we started our very much the beginning of our careers and lives and education and everything. We do have that kind of a sense of responsibility as well to do the right thing, to share the knowledge and experience. Probably a lot of our academics, senior scientists, researchers, professors, they are in a position like Hariji is here, Rajuda is here, and we got many more. They are in a position to probably supervise many young scientists, mentor them at least to give heads up. They may have a lot of brilliant ideas in their mind, being while in Nepal or in different countries, but they need second opinion. They need someone's heads up, some ideas sharing forum, things like that. And why not promote that world, that side? So that was the very much founding reason why NRNA adapted to prioritize this whole segment, the whole area. And then we, from this time on, this leadership term, this team, we decided to initiate a department called Skill, Knowledge and Technology Transfer Department. This is the solid bold message that we in RNA have very much prioritized, will continue to prioritize this area. In the beginning days, many years ago, we initiated from a task force, SKI task force, Skill, Knowledge, Innovation Transfers. Dr. Raju Adhikari led that for many years and he still continues to do so. He is a member secretary of this department, is very much the focal point. Dr. Dahal is here. We initiated, this is happening for the second term 2 years ago, NRNA initiated Global Knowledge Convention. He will go more on that. And he's the co-convener on that. They are pulling all these best of minds from around the world in one venue, one forum happening in October. That is another initiative as part of this department's many initiatives. And we got multiple divisions, including in the agricultural sector, in the vocational skills, in the Nepal Science Foundation, Knowledge Academy, Policy Institute, and the like. And then we'll continue to find ways to diversify that. Some of the objectives we have in mind are let's pull all these our scientists, technologists in this forum, and then let's create different focus groups, target groups. They could have subgroups. They could talk the talk and walk the walk in their own disciplines, and let's create those multidisciplinary groups in their own domains. And then that way, one, they feel good about it. They get to know each other from one part of the world to the other. And then when needed at the time of urgency, like back in 2015, we had a big disaster, earthquake, and then our experts in the area of dealing with those kind of emergencies, one of the best in the world. We did pull them together. We were able to advise government in many aspects how to deal with those kind of emergencies. And now COVID is happening. Our health teams, the best of the best from around the world, they're getting together. They're helping in many ways, creating help desk, disseminating information, exchanging ideas with the governments and things like that. So this is the idea. This is why this department was created. We have a thing called a big document, Vision 2020 and beyond, institutionalization, good governance and all that for the organization. And this department was part of that vision as well. It is started this year, this term, and it will continue to grow. And we are glad to be part of this quick catch up with you guys, Biotechnology Society of Nepal. And then we would be definitely seeking ideas how we can work together to mutually benefit and to be of help to the diaspora, to the country, and to your society and many of your young members as well. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah, back to you, Srishti.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. We have a few questions for you, if you welcome.
Absolutely.
So, sir, we would like to know how the Global Knowledge Conference is organized and what is the focus of the conference?
I would, I could say that, but we do have co-convener Dr. Dahal. I would probably get him to, Hariji, would you like to step in on that?
Actually, I'm planning to give you a quick overview of what this convention is going to entail. So maybe when we get to us, when we get to me, maybe I will give you the intro and all the relevant information. And if you didn't get enough information, I can do Q&A at that time. Will that be a better way to do it?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah, I think that that's a good idea. Let's go on to present about SK&TT activity, then global conference. All questions can be asked at the end. That will be good.
Oh, sure, sir, sure. So moving forward to the next speaker, we have Dr. Raju Adhikari, who is a principal and a scientist, an honorable fellow, CSIRO, associate editor, Frontier Biotechnology, Biomedical Bioengineering. His research areas include bioactive molecules, polymers, biomaterials, and tissue engineering. He has published over 100 research papers, 28 patents, and 6 book chapters. It's 8:30. He's the chair of NSFT, SK&TT. Sir, you may begin with your speech now.
Thank you. Can you let me share my screen? I've got a small presentation that I'd like to share.
Yes, sir.
Can you allow me that?
Yeah. Okay, you can share,
Just
sir.
a second.
You can share.
Okay. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And can you hear me loud?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, BSN Navinji. Thanks, Manaji, for nicely introducing about the department and the NRNA overarching this thing vision. And thanks, BSN, for organizing this program. As Manaji interact with professional societies to know and develop this kind of a relationship. I will start saying that why this is so important, this meeting, is that as Manaji outlined, in today's 21st century and DNA age, the future economy based on knowledge and innovation. So unless you have the resources and the capacity and to capture this knowledge and innovation, the country will be lagging behind in terms of getting sustainable prosperity. So the Nepal government also has prioritized 2030 Sustainable Development Goal Vision. And so is NRNA also has prioritized its vision for knowledge investment and has thus formed this department called Science, Knowledge and Technology Department to streamline all activities and take it as a holistic approach to achieve that knowledge investment for Nepal. So I'm going to the next slide. I think as Manaji said, our whole philosophy of knowledge investment approach is the brain drain to brain gain. So most of the last 15 years or 2 decades, 90% of the skill migration have moved across overseas and has caused a great volume of vacuums in Nepal. And NRNA always saw it as a diaspora organization, if we have to somehow connect this brain back to Nepal, they may not go physically, but they can be connected through the crowd spacing and through the, the online and get involved. So the brain drain to brain is kind of a reciting that NRN wanted to create that hub. And as Naveen also said, this is how the idea of brain drain to brain gain seminar was started a few years back in partnership with BSN and Nepal Science Foundation Trust. Next slide, 2003 to 2020. As Manaji said, we have come a very, very long way. There were so many activities, the small task force. We established Open University of Nepal, helped establish Open University of Nepal. We led to foundation of Nepal Science Foundation was registered. We are working with government closely in Gainakot University, which has a component of NRN Knowledge Academy built into it. And when it will come, we will be also participating. So streamlining all these activity is now the responsibility of the department. Science, Knowledge, Technology, Transparency, which is headed by Manaji. So we have taken all the activities and institutionalized into a department so that we are more effective in coordinating and implementing those activities in Nepal. So if you look at just for BSN people, you always look at the NRN, you get confused. It's a very big organization, so let's not get confused. For people and the society like BSN, what we need to focus is that NRNICC has 5 departments. Administrative, women, youth, philanthropy. We're not concerned maybe directly, but one of our major concern department is science, knowledge, and technology transfer department. That's where we have to focus on for the professional societies. And there are 5 divisions within this department, as Manaji said: NRN Academies, Nepal Science Foundation, Nepal Policy Institute, Vocational Education, and Global Conference. So BSN, I think of the most direct interest should be on Nepal Science Foundation activity and Global Conference activity. These are the 2 forums BSN can directly benefit by working together with the division. We have a global network, as Manaji said. This is the SK&TT department network we have established globally, so we can mobilize our resources very effectively. We have lots of activities going on in our projects. I would not go into detail, but one of the seminar which BSN mentioned is also one of our activities. We are trying to streamline these again. So this is Open University in Nepal. It took a long 10 years to establish, but it was one of the flagship projects that NRNA is very proud to have completed in partnership with government of Nepal. So if you think big and go in collaboration and partnership, everything is possible. You don't need money upfront. Money can be created later. So this university is now up and running in Nepal, as you know, and there are many courses being run and many students are enrolled. And the academy, this is a Gainakot University, which we'll talk later. It's in the pipeline. That's not present topic of the today discussion. So NSFT, let me talk about NSF activity. NSF activity is very simple. We have got a board of trustee. We've got a steering committee in NRNA, which works worldwide. And we have an advisory council, and we work with Nepal directly in the science and technology activity. As you can see, seminar skill inventory is one of our, and the projects are major activities. Now I'll let this to Hariji to explain. I just put in this slide that Hariji will speak after me. And this is the second, means we already had the first 4 years ago and was a huge success. And we put some recommendations. And one of the recommendations was to continue this conference after 2 years. And now we come back to run this conference again after 2 years, and with a very specific objectives. Now we are more clear from the feedback of the first conference, how it should be run and what are the expectations and the activities we need to be undertaking. So BSN, I'll put in 2 slides for BSN purpose and for BSN society. I just wanted to say that BSN is a very active professional society. I know I have been interacting with them for the last 7 or 8 years. They are having their own problem. It's a very small but very, very proactive society that is run by very young scientists and volunteers. They are always interested to work in partnership with Nepal Science Foundation and SK&TT department. The potential areas of collaboration, after consulting with them and after getting their feedback and also talking to my colleagues from NRNA, it seems what the potential areas of collaboration for BSN is: one, that brain drain, brain gain seminar and BSN day, DNA day. These are very important forum, which would link between NSF and BSN. NRN also is interested to have our own skill inventory. BSN has its own skill inventory. So we would like to develop biotechnology skill inventory, holistic, and share with us, with each other, and create a national inventory of that. Publication in BSN journal is a very good journal. We would encourage diaspora scientists to publish. It's, I think, CA index. And they are looking for research collaboration. I don't think we have any project with them, but that is their intention, to take into some sort of a collaborative project on the ground and work in SK&TT. Like we have some project I mentioned before. One of them lately was a COVID initiative with NAST. They want to be involved into that project. So the last slide for them is what BSN is expecting from us would be, I may be wrong, that will come into the Q&A session later with BSN, but for BSN people, I put in some questions here. They're really looking for kind of a letter of cooperation signed with the SK&TT department so that we are more specific and we are formally connected. And funding for BGDG seminar project, I think they run through sponsorship, but they want to go in partnership with, again, formally on a firm footing, take this seminar to the next level, only for biotechnology specific. And Hariji would be very happy to know that there are some interest coming for specific areas for the conference team to develop into future its own auto conferencing. So this fits well with that. Technical collaboration, I think they're publishing papers, so we can submit our papers, or we can also provide our expertise of editing or in the editorial board or the team member. I'm already in the advisory. So they want to really work in collaboration. And role of NRNA, if we have a tomorrow with the collaborative project with the in SNT, they wanted, as I spelled out wrongly, is the role of BSN in collaborative project. BSN want to see what's their role in, if we have a collaborative projects with NAST, how BSN can fit to work with NAST and NRN. So that is their expectation. And they also want their young scientists to be mentored and have access to the information for going overseas for scholarship or for PhD or further career path, mentoring and guidance. And they're also looking for some kind of a volunteer experience. And if we have some projects, kind of an employability, if there are some funded project, can BSN scientists be employed and work together? So these are the area. With this, I end my slides. But the last two slides I put in from my own experience, but we will come back that to later in the discussion. So thanks. Now back to you, Sirikshaji.
Thank you, sir. We definitely have a lot more knowledge now. Last but not the least, we have Dr. Hari Dahal, who is a scientist, physicist, associate editor, American Physical Society, co-chair Global Knowledge Convention, NRNA, SK&TT, department, research areas, correlated electron system, and stereo three-dimensional visualization, who will be enlightening us with his contribution of the speech. Over to you, Hariran sir.
Okay, thank you, Srishti. Thank you, BSN chairman and the team for inviting me to share with you about the NRNA, one of the very exciting projects of NRNA, which is the Global Knowledge Convention. Thank you, BP, NRNA, ICC, Manakesiju. Thank you, NSFT Chair, Dr. Raju Adhikari, for bringing BSN and NRN and Global Knowledge Convention representation in this discussion. I don't know how much time I have. I can share a lot of information, but if I go over time, please interrupt me, okay? So I also want to share a very short PowerPoint presentation on my side. So how do we do this? Rajadai, maybe you need to end, or can I?
I think if you have PowerPoint open, I think Nabin has to let you in. If you can open your file and go to the share screen, you should be able to.
Yeah. Okay, so
do you want me to put my slides? No, you have a slide.
No, I will put my slide. I have Navinji, would you be able to allow me to share my slides? Navinji, are you there?
Navinji is on
Yes, sir.
mute.
Yes, sir.
So can Navin,
please
can
let
you
me.
let Hariji
Okay, just a minute, sir.
slides?
Now you can share.
Okay. Let me come in. Okay, so this is a PDF file first I'm going to share with you. This is a 12-page long document. This summarizes, actually gives in detail what second NRN Global Knowledge Convention is trying to do. So this convention is being organized um, by Non-Resident Nepali Association and co-organized by Government of Nepal. Specifically, we are working with Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Brain Gain Center. So the convention is going to be in October 9 to 11, 2020 in Kathmandu University. The motto of this convention is to explore the diaspora role for innovation and prosperity in Nepal, especially in post-COVID-19 scenario. So the initial plan was to do it in-person convention in Kathmandu University, but because of the COVID-19 situation, we are planning to organize this convention all online. So let me give you a short history of the NRN Global Knowledge Convention. We actually did this first episode of this convention in 2018. We did it in Kathmandu, again, in coordination with the government of Nepal. And we believe that the convention was really successful. It was highly successful. That was our first attempt. And according to our calculation, about 700 people attended the conference, including in the inauguration session and in the scientific session. And actually we summarized the findings of the first NRN Global Knowledge Convention and handed over many recommendations, several recommendations to the government of Nepal, and was distributed to other agencies of the government, including the ministries. So this year, because of the success of that, or on the background of the success of the first Global Knowledge Convention, as Dr. Raju Adhikari said, one of the recommendations was to continue this convention and bring in future episodes. And we decided to do it once in every 2 years. So this year, we are using Sustainable Development Goals set by United Nations and the 15th five-year planning of National Planning Commission of Nepal to shape our objectives. And as I said earlier, in the current context of COVID-19, we are also going to look at the socio-economic impact on diaspora and resident Nepalese, and the challenges and opportunities that it has brought in Nepal and around the world. And we have actually expanded our collaboration compared to the first Knowledge Convention. We have expanded it. So there is a lot of room for collaboration with any entity that is related to the development of research and education and research. And this year, we even expanded it to include private sector, industries, startups, and innovators. So actually our overarching theme for this convention are these following 4 points, which is in-house innovation for societal changes, science, technology, and innovation policy, startups and commercialization, and digitalized economy. So these are the main macro level philosophical thinking of this second NRN Global Knowledge Convention. I do not want to go through the 12-page long document, but this document is archived on the website of second NRN Global Knowledge Convention, and I would refer you to the website, and you can actually get the electronic copy of this document there. It's a long document. It actually summarizes what sessions we're doing, what is the theme of those sessions, and who are involved, and how big the collaboration is, and every single thing. But I have another PowerPoint that I want to share with you that actually summarizes what type of topics we are actually covering in this convention. So allow me to share this other document to you. This is the short document. So I will not be boring you with a lot of the detail, but I do want to give you uh, the central information that will actually help you gauge um, how big the scope of the convention is and what are the topics we are trying to cover in it. So the convention actually has 4 plenary sessions planned and 15 symposium sessions. So altogether 19 sessions. And you can actually, as I said before, details on these sessions you can find in the convention flyer. But I do want to, you can actually take the screenshot or share the document, but do want to point out some of the topical areas where Biotechnology Society of Nepal can actually play a role. I actually went through your website and see the areas, the subject areas that you are interested in. And I see that you have published several news articles on COVID-19 situation. So plenary 1, COVID-19 impact on Nepal's economy and path to recovery, this session can be of your interest. Emergency preparedness for pandemic and natural disaster risk management, that's plenary 2. There also you see the emergency preparedness for pandemic situation. So I think there is a slight overlap there. So your members can be benefited from the papers presented, will be presented in this plenary session. Science, technology, innovation, policy implementation, this is directly going to touch because biotechnology is also part of the science and technology, and the innovation policy will definitely impact, right, this field also. So I think you can see some overlap there also. The next plenary session is on research, innovation, and commercialization. And actually, I saw in your website, your focus is also in bringing in entrepreneurs, right, and try to see how biotechnology can probably be developed and then probably bring in the market. So this session also looks of your interest. Now, let me move on to the symposium sessions. Session 1 is agriculture and food security. And I also saw in your document that you are interested in agriculture, environment, health sectors, life sciences. So definitely you'll probably be interested on session S1 also. S2, session 2, that's symposium 2. This is biomedical technologies. You have a very big overlap there. So plenary sessions, papers will be presented only by invitation. Where symposium sessions, we are actually inviting abstracts for the contributed talks. And you can, or your society or the member of the society can actually go to the Knowledge Convention website and start submitting abstract already for the symposium sessions, any symposium session listed on this page. So biomedical technology session seems to have the biggest overlap with the theme of your society, or the knowledge sharing, the promotion of research, maybe development of technology and marketing them. And I think all of this can fit into this session as to biomedical technology. Then let me go down in the list. If you see S7, in S7, we're going to talk about intersection in natural sciences, right? And then life science can come in there also. So if you are interested in fundamental biotechnology research, maybe some of the papers can be submitted to this session, and the audience can probably be benefited by the papers presented in this session. Session 8 is life and health science. You see overlap in there. Then session 10, S10, public health and pandemic mitigation. I see some overlap in there also. So those are the sessions, and through this, actually, we can work together. There is a lot of room for collaboration. So um, with this, I think this much information will give you already, maybe already answers a lot of your question. If you have more question, I'll be happy to answer here. And you can also point your team, your member of the society to the Knowledge Convention website and get this document there. And let me see, I forgot to share with you a couple of important information here. So the second Global Knowledge Convention is already open for abstract submission. I'm interested, contributed talk presenter can submit an abstract until September 4th, and will notify the acceptance of those abstracts by September 14th. And the registration for conference will start from September 1st. If you have any question, you can send us email at knowledge@nrna.org. You can, as I said already, you can retrieve some of the information from the Knowledge Convention website. You can follow us on Facebook also. So regarding Knowledge Convention, I would like to end my short presentation here, but I do want to bring another information, do want to share with you another information. I am a full-time employer in the United States for a society, which is American Physical Society. So this society is by the physicist, for the physicist, and it was established, it's one of the oldest society in the world, was established in 1899, May 1899. It's a very old organization. And so this organization does several things that you are also aiming to do, which is the central, the most important, most of the time of this organization goes into scientific publication and knowledge dissemination. And it also does member services for its member. It's a large organization. And it also runs many conferences. One of them is a conference that is held in every March. And about 12,000 scientists attend that conference. So I see from your website, you guys are also, the society is also doing teleconferences. And it also does advocacy. And I also see that Biotechnology Society of Nepal can also do some advocacy for the development of science and technology in Nepal. So me being in this large organization can probably share with you some of the experiences that I have in this organization, working for this organization for the last 10 years. I'm an associate editor for 2 scientific journals, but being in the organization, I also keep my eyes open on what kind of services, what kind of advocacy and other services this association can give, the society can give. And I might be able to share some of this information with you and might be beneficial to you. So I just want to leave it to you and leave an open invitation for communication among us on the side also. Let me stop here, and if any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you for your information about the GKC and also the AIDS Society, sir. We would definitely like to know more about the society and what it can offer us. So if you can just brief a little about that society.
So this society, from the organization, I don't know if BSN can benefit anything, but for me being in the organization, I might be able to share with you some of this thing that I see in this organization, because this is a very large organization, serves its members globally, more than 100 countries. So I have seen how the organization has expanded, how it serves its member, what are the ways it can serve its members, and how do they manage large conferences and stuff like that, and what kind of advocacy do they do for the scientists around the world, right? If we can learn from what these large organizations do and actually try to replicate some of those for our organization in Nepal, I think this is going to be very, very helpful. And actually, one other thing that I want to, one other point I want to touch upon is I see that you are trying to expand this organization of yours, Biotechnology Society of Nepal, and actually
It's 9
NRNA
o'clock.
diaspora, NRNA diaspora can also play a big role, I think, because we are in more than 80 countries, more than 80 countries already organized, right? So if we can bring, and there are a lot of diaspora experts who are working, has gained a lot of expertise in many of these subject areas that Biotechnology Society wants to work on and wants to serve its member. So I think diaspora experts can also play a very big role in helping advance the cause of this society. Um, so, so just want to make it clear that organization itself might not be able to help societies like Biotechnology Society, but me, a Nepali diaspora, a non-resident Nepali, working in the organization might be able to share with you some of the information that can help the society.
Yes, so the audience also wanted to know whether there is any fee for registering, or is it fee for like Nepali scientists?
Yes, there is a small fee in registering the conference, but the steering committee has decided that if there is any hardship in paying those fees because of any reason, many reason, we would like to hear about that and may be able to waive the fee. So for attending this conference online, local student participant would pay an amount equivalent to $10. But if they are presenting a paper, that will be discounted by 50%. So this is going to be only uh, $5 per presenting student. But if that is also going to create a barrier, we would like to know, and we might be able to waive the fee.
Okay, so we also have another question. Can any research paper of graduation and undergraduation be presented, or is it restricted to innovative research only?
It's not restricted, but there is certain expectation of the kind of papers that um, we would like to present in the convention, right? So, but there is no particular restriction uh, on where the paper is going to come from. Students, actually, we do want to encourage students to present papers, definitely. And we did that in the first NRN Global Knowledge.
And also,
Yeah,
Hari, I would like to add,
yeah.
say, for example, in Startup Innovation Symposium session, we are encouraging and we are inviting poster presentations largely from
Okay.
the students, undergraduates. So the poster is an opportunity where, because of the time restriction, we might not be able to accommodate everyone to be a speaker, even for contribution, because it's an online conference. So there's a huge opportunity for posters, especially in my session, technology, commercialization, innovation. So we will accommodate as many posters we get. And there where
Yeah,
the quality can be screened differently.
yeah. I just want to add another point. All papers will be screened, right? But there is no set rules for where the paper can or should come. Students are highly encouraged to present their papers there.
So another question, can BSN scientists also be in the organizing committee in the future global conferences?
That is definitely possible. That is definitely possible because we do want to expand the scope and impact of this convention. And that is going to be achieved by expanding the collaboration among the collaborators, right?
Yes.
We do want to do it, yes.
Another question for, I think, Mr. Mana sir, is NSFT is associated with the BSN DG seminar, sorry. Can SK and TT, NSFT and BSN organize this seminar jointly and get some support from NRNA, SK and TT?
Yes, definitely. Dr. Raju Adhikari is the chair of the Nepal Science Foundation, NSF, and which is part of the SK&TT department, SK Knowledge Technology Transfer department. So I'll get him to attend that. But yes, in principle, definitely, when there are opportunities, mutual opportunities, which would benefit the wider audience for the greater public good, we can definitely do these kind of initiatives time to time. Of course, the Global Knowledge Conference is the big, probably one of the biggest of its kind, and happening second time. But it's not to rule out other initiatives we can do time to time between NSF, which is part of SK&TT, and Biotechnology Society of Nepal as well. Yes.
Can I add Srishti on that to Manaji's remarks? As Hariji also mentioned and Manaji mentioned, that global conference where we invite everyone from professional societies to organizations. Oh, sorry. Can you hear? Hello? Can you hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now biotechnology is a very, especially in the light of COVID backgrounds and being very active association and been doing such a great seminar for so long, brain series. I think what you can do is that you can submit a small proposal in writing to one of our division, NSFT and global conference. You know, the global conference organizing committee would also like to see a small bifurcation, you know, small branches of that, taking a specific role in organizing their own activities, seminar type in Nepal would be encouraged. So they might also look this favorably and also join with NSFT to see how we can support. So you might have to submit in writing sort of what's your expectation, how long and how often you organize, and what's your overarching, you know, this thing, resources required. So once we have that in the nutshell, the SK&TT department and global conference committee, people like Hari, Dahal, me and myself and Manaji will sit to see how we can help and meet your expectation and make it more sustainable.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We'll do that. Also, BSN is involved in SK&TT COVID-19 proposal initiatives with NAST. When will this happen, and will BSN scientists get the opportunity to work in the project?
I will let Manaji to let us know what's the status of the MOU and things like that. Then I will add a little bit onto that.
Absolutely. So MOU is at the final stage of being finalized, and within that, the proposal, yes, we got that proposal, and we're getting some feedback as to the impact. I mean, as we all know, the COVID first time in our lifetime happening, and even the governments are struggling to know the veracity and the scale of it, and every day is unfolding the new thing. Obviously, when we identify the opportunity of research and working collaboratively on this, we don't want to be duplicating our initiatives. We want to do something that's going to have impact and that's going to be measurable in terms, like anything that so of that nature. In the first round of our initiatives, we focused more towards, I mean, in Nepal, there was huge scarcity of PPE and protective gears and all that for the health workers. We did a contribution towards that. We did contribute to that, and the relief was our second part as we went, which still continues. And now, as we head towards the exit mode of the COVID, in different countries, they have come up with different type of vaccines. They're testing in the final rounds. Getting close to that. So that's what about that proposal. That's where the discussion is, and Raju I will touch upon more. Not one limiting to that, whether the same one or any other, little bit tweaked, little bit moderated, but definitely we would be interested to do something together. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Manaji.
Yeah, go on, please.
Okay, thanks, Manaji. I think to that question, of course, yes. As Manaji said, the MOU with the NAST is about to be signed shortly, anytime. It's already been on the table of the NAST, so we're expecting that to be signed, and you will hear that announcement, I think, from formal channels. And after that, one of the activities we are negotiating with the NAST is the COVID establishment of a serological specific lab to work into area of this immuno or serological lab, work on COVID related research. And for that, definitely BSN Naveen is indirectly involved because he's also working with us in a different capacity, helps us in NSFT activities and connecting us in Nepal. So he is aware of that. And we would, once the proposal gets to some sort of a concrete stage and that proposal gets signed, we will definitely invite and seek expression of interest from society like BSN to be involved and contribute for sure.
Thank you so much. Also another question, sir. Can BSN scientists volunteers in the work in the conference activity?
Yeah, that is possible. We would welcome that. That would benefit both the Global Knowledge Convention and the society also. We have not particularly discussed how are we going to get the help from the volunteers yet, but if BSN wants to bring the proposal, the steering committee is going to discuss this, and personally, I think this is possible and we would like to do that. We can do that.
Sure, sir. We'll work on that. And sir, how many paper abstracts can BSN as a society submit?
A society, there is no set numbers. We don't have any cap on anything. Conference is pretty big. You see, there are like 15 sessions there, right? The symposium session where a contributed talk can be presented. So we have a lot of room. We don't have any cap on that. So we encourage.
Yeah, and to Harish, I said, if you see some sort of reply which is not accepting your abstract because of particular session being oversaturated, or you get some sort of a feeling that you have not been accepted, please contact us directly. We will accommodate you in any other sessions, symposium sessions, or even in poster. We won't let you get disappointed. This is your conference for you, for young scientists. That's why NRN is doing so much of an effort. So please let Hariji know, or the steering committee, SK&TT department know if we have any problems in regard to submission. We will, acceptance in particular, we will work on it.
Sure, sir, sure. The last question, can BSN sign a letter of cooperation with the SK&TT NSFT?
I will add and then let Manaji speak on it. I think to sign a letter of cooperation, you have to be specific. I think we can sign a broader, but that has to be based on certain concept or activities you want to start after signing. And I can see that brain drains seminar is where we can work straight away. We have been working, but we can formalize that now, signing a specific letter of cooperation, non-binding. And secondly, also skill inventory. NSFT, SK&TT department is is setting up our own skill inventory, national diaspora, and we have divided that into discipline specific. Say, for example, I personally am very interested to know how many biotechnology society scientists or the students or researchers are in Nepal. So if you have your inventory, we can also say a diaspora biotechnology inventory, and we can work together in establishing a biotechnology society inventory. So these two activities, the seminar and the skill inventory of Biotechnology Society, a global one, a national one, we can work together jointly. And that if we can specify in writing that to SK&TT department and the department considers it positively, that could be the basis of signing a letter of cooperation. And I'll let Manaji speak on that.
I think Rajda, you covered it well. Basically, yes, Srishti, just to touch upon that, like Rajda said, NRNA, and the department within NRNAs, the SK&TT, both are voluntary in nature. This is the organization. It runs with members' contribution in a voluntary basis. And then the BSN, Biotechnology Society of Nepal, is I guess it's the same thing. So yes, in principle, we can identify areas of opportunity, like Rajda said, and you can put forward your views where, being specific, what the opportunities could be, how it could mutually benefit. And then the mainly, you just got to point out those areas. We are rich in the people network. We are rich in all the experienced people. Initially we said, we have in the diaspora diversified around the world. And then you guys there, mainly the mentoring, connecting, networking, sharing their skills, knowledge, in that area, I think you would benefit in the must. And then the short, medium term, other specific areas of initiatives, of course, you can put forward and we can go through and discuss.
Yeah, and Srishti, I'd just like to add, say to Navinji also, you have to do some little exercise on the paper and submit some sort of an outline in writing, because sometimes we discuss a lot of things, there are a lot of good ideas, but we don't know how to break down this into, sort of a project kind of thing. So if you can both brain gain series or skill inventory, BSN or biotechnology inventory, if you can mention and work out how you see that happening and the resources, and then submit us in writing, then it will kick off. Otherwise, sometimes we do talk, but if we don't get that in writing, it's very difficult to evaluate the value of the projects and then pass through. So I will encourage you to do that.
Yes, sir, we'll definitely consider that. I'd like to ask the audience now if anyone has questions.
Srishti, I see a question on Zoom through chat.
I can't see any question there.
Okay, so yeah, so Samiksha Kandel has asked a question. Looks like it's put in privately, but should I take the question if there is?
Yes, sir, I already asked that question.
So there are any idea startup platform this year where people will present ideas and even get fund if rewarded? I think this came from one of the participant here. Should I take that question?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, so we tried some sort of a pitching deck in first Global Knowledge Convention. I actually coordinated that session. It was not very popular. So unfortunately we dropped it this year, but I like the idea. This is very much needed in Nepal, where if people have any innovative idea, they should be able to pitch it to a deck and should be communicated or maybe live presented to any potential investors. And if they like the idea, they should be able to fund it. But we do not, unfortunately, do not have that platform built this year within the Global Knowledge Convention. But personally, I think this is a very good idea. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call upon Ms. Samiksha Gandil, the Secretary of BSN, to give the vote of thanks. Over to you, Samiksha.
Okay, thank you so much, Srishti, for all your efforts regarding the conduction of this session. I'm thankful to one and all for all your valuable time and participation in this meeting. I'm thankful to all the respected dignitaries from NRNA, specifically Mana Kisi sir, Dr. Raju Adhikari sir, and Hari Dahal sir for the insightful presentation. Their insightful remarks on NRNA knowledge investment approach with respect to brain drain to brain gain aspect, which BSN has already initiated years ago with regular follow-up with Nepali experts around the globe, seems very collaborative and coordinating since we have been in touch up with all the events since long. The history of NRNA knowledge, Science, Knowledge and Technology Transfer Department from 2000 till present is really glorious to see in a presentation with its extended network inclusive of its broader range of projects. The collaborative insights regarding BSN project with NRNA are always welcoming, and we would be thankful for all this diaspora and more specifically the SK&TT department. Yeah, you stated it correctly, sir. BSN is seeking collaboration in terms of in the terms of technical basis and in the executive patterns as well. So perspective meetings, perspectives regarding second global knowledge convention, its focus area, extended collaborative platforms, innovators and sectors was really informative. The insights that NRNA put forward regarding societal changes through science, technology, digital economy and so forth is a major highlight, I suppose, regarding the coverage of the event. I hope this session today would be proved helpful for the upcoming events, which is one of the grand convention in Nepal, and will bring about some impactful enlightenment into the subject area being put forward. We're thankful for all your valuable time and effort, and on behalf of BSN, I am personally thankful for all these opportunities, and I will look forward to working together in days to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we're going on a pause. Yeah, thank you everyone for organizing BSN. I'll leave soon for another meeting, and yeah, if anything, Dr. Haridal and Dr. Raju Adhikari will be here to continue if anything else. Raju?
I think we are almost to finish. I think it's an hour program, but because of the nature and the kind of the value of the program, it's been extended already.
Yes.
And thanks, Manaji, for your time, for being here despite the busy, and Hari Dahal, especially with the time difference. I can understand. The conference coming so close, and all the BSN scientists, young scientists, I can see your faces. You guys are the future, and when definitely SK&TT department in global conferences, we are creating opportunities and forum to be connected, and we will definitely work together. So let's stay positive. And we really like to thank on behalf of NRNA SK&TT Department Global Conference for giving us this opportunity to share some of our activities directly to the scientists online. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, NRN team. Thank you, Global Knowledge Convention team. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Navinji. Thank you. And
bye-bye. Thank
Thank
you.
Everyone. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.